Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beth. I am a 36-year-old attorney living in the DC area with my husband. And I like to do a variety of beauty content here on my channel, and that includes beauty box unboxings, reviews, full face videos, empties, all kinds of good things. So if any of that sounds good to you, please do subscribe before you go. So today's video is very exciting. It's one of my favorite videos to film for you every quarter, and that is going to be my What Will I Choose video for the upcoming FabFitFun box. So if you're unfamiliar with FabFitFun, it is a seasonal lifestyle subscription box. So they send out a box every season, and today we are going to be talking about what will be in the spring 2022 subscription box. So before I get into the choices, I did want to mention that the price is going to increase a little bit. So starting for spring 2022, the annual memberships will be $199.99 a year, so basically $200 for 4 boxes. So each one is approximately $50. And then seasonal memberships will be priced at $54.99 per season. So you're saving about $5 a box if you opt for the annual membership, but of course then you're locked in for the year. There are some additional perks to being an annual member, and those include being able to customize your entire box as opposed to, I think, 4 out of the 6 categories. And your customization window is also earlier than seasonal members. And then finally, you have early access to the add-on store. So that's where you can go in and add additional items to your box. So about the add-on store, I do usually film like a video capture of what is in the add-on store. So you can check out, for example, the winter one that I uploaded just to get an idea of what that will look like. But I do plan on filming that video again for the spring season. But if you just want to try out this box before you commit, I will have a discount code down below. I think that'll get you $10 off your box, and it'll give me some credit to spend in the add-on store. So just want to let you know that as well. That is a code that anyone who subscribes to FabFitFun can generate. It's not any kind of special relationship with FabFitFun or anything. So when they announced this price increase, they did mention that they have some exciting brands lined up in the upcoming seasons, including Fenty Beauty, Hourglass, Z Gallery, and Food 52, and 2 of those brands will be in the spring box, so I'll make sure to talk about those when we get to them. They say that they also remain committed to featuring female-founded companies, investing in sustainability, and programs like the FabFitFun Standard for Clean Beauty. On the topic of sustainability, I'll have a picture of the box, and it'll probably be in the thumbnail as well. But in previous boxes, I know they've had like more of the recycled cardboard look, and then they've had some imagery printed on top of it. This box seems to be fully printed, which I thought they were kind of trying to get away from that, so I'm not quite sure how that kind of fits in with their sustainability model, but that's fine. It's not my favorite design. I think I preferred the design they had in last spring's box, which was, I think, a lot of flowers and that kind of thing. So it's not my favorite, but those boxes do make good storage boxes if you choose to hold on to them. And recently they've been sending out different sizes of boxes depending on what you choose. So the bulkier items will get a bigger box. So as far as the dates go, for annual members, your spring add-on window is from January 27th through the 31st. And with that window, what happens is you can add things to your cart, but you don't check out. And then once the window closes, they bill you for whatever is in your cart. So it's nice in that you can kind of reserve items without having to worry about them selling out. But if you're just kind of thinking through what you want to get and you're adding a bunch of stuff to your cart, make sure to remove what you don't want because you will be charged for whatever is in your cart. And the spring customization window for annual members is January 28th through the 31st. For seasonal members, your add-on window is the 10th of February through the 14th, Valentine's Day. And annual members usually can go in again kind kind of have a second crack at add-ons at that point. And for seasonal members, your spring customization window is the 11th of February through the 14th. So add-ons usually open a day before the customization for whatever reason. So that's an easy way to kind of think of it. So I have notes on all 6 choices here. Depending on time, I might split this up into 2 parts. And while I think of it, they released the last 2 customization spoilers on Friday. I'm filming this on Saturday, but they sometimes have boost your box spoilers where you can basically pay more money and get additional items at a pretty steep discount. I don't see anything in their community forum, which is where I get a lot of my information. Interesting. I just saw that Fenty Beauty is coming to Ulta. Okay, so I don't see anything yet, but if more information comes out after I film and before I post this, I will insert it during the editing process. Okay, so let's talk about choice 1. So let's go ahead and scoot over a little bit here. So for choice 1, everyone can choose an item from this category, and you also have the ability to select additional choices, and those additional choices will be $15. I was a little relieved to see that they hadn't increased the price of those additional choices because that can add up depending on what you're interested in. Oh, and I wanted to say too that I think in general I'm a little bit more excited about this year's spring box than I was last year, so I think we have some good options available to us. So for category 1, the first choice is the Christoph Robin Regenerating Mask with Prickly Pear Oil. That has a $69 value, and whenever I see prickly pear, it always makes me think of The Jungle Book, which is kind of fun.
Now when you pick a pawpaw or a prickly pear, don't pick the prickly pear by the paw. When you pick a pear, try to use the claw.
So I'll just say right off the bat that I think that is what I'm going to choose. I can always do with another good hair mask. I do have like highlighted wavy hair. I blow dried it a little bit today, so it's a little bit straighter than normal, but yeah, my hair can handle a good amount of moisture, so I always like using a hair mask. The next option is the L Space, I guess, Coastal Cooler. That's supposed to have a $100 value, which seems a little high. I'm not familiar with that brand though, so it could be a more high-end brand. This is kind of tempting, but it's one of those things where I would get it just thinking, oh, maybe this will come in handy without like a clear idea of how and when I will use it. I did get the like lemon cooler, I think in an add-on store sale or whatever, and we haven't really used that too much. Yeah, I might skip it. I mean, it could be really great, but it does look like it would be a little bit easier to carry, being a more kind of traditional tote shape. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. The next one is the Caravan Home Lazy Susan, and that is, I think, made out of acacia wood. That has a $60 value. And the thing I don't like about this is that it has the name of the brand on top of it. If it didn't have that, I would be a little bit more tempted to get it, but I don't know. I just find it a little distracting to have the name on that, so I'll probably skip it. Next up, speaking of Fenty, we have a duo of their Gloss Bomb Heat Universal Lip Luminizer and Plumper in Hot Cherry and Lemon Lava. And this has a $48 value. Lemon Lava is a new shade, so it's nice to see that they've, gotten a new variation of something that's already been out. And I will probably skip this. I'm not a huge fan of like lip plumpers, especially those that use any kind of like pepper type ingredient to make your, blood flow to your lips and make them really plump and juicy. So as you may have noticed, I do have a good amount of makeup on, but I haven't applied absolutely everything. So I thought I would kind of demo some products as we go through. So I don't have any of these Gloss Bomb Heats, but I do have several of their original Gloss Bomb formula. And let's see here. I think I might actually try out this shade called Cheeky, which looks kind of orange. I don't have a lot of color on my face right now, so I thought I would just apply this so you kind of get a sense of the like texture and everything. I think these were part of a set, so I don't know if this was like the full size or anything. So just for way of comparison in terms of like the color opacity and like the texture and everything, I would imagine the hot cherry would give you a similar effect, and then the lemon lava looks like it would be kind of more sheer, but you definitely do get some color with these glosses depending on what shade you go for. So they're not my favorite gloss formula. I still prefer the Pat McGrath glosses. These do have a pretty strong like sweet smell to them, at least the like normal formula does. And they feel nice on the lips, but they do feel, I think, a little bit thicker than like the Pat McGrath glosses. So I will probably skip this option, but I just wanted to kind of share with you my thoughts on Fenty Beauty glosses in general. Okay, so I'm inserting this from the second part, so I suddenly have blush applied because that is an option in choice 6, but I realized that I never applied highlighter from the first category here. So for the first category, there is the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Freestyle Highlighter in Girl Next Door and Chic Freak, and this has a $38 value. So I don't have that particular highlighter combo, but I do have a couple of similar ones. So I have the Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal, which is this one, and the Mean Money and Hustla Baby, which I think is a bit darker. So the thing about these highlighters that I think is really interesting and kind of helpful is that they have one shade that is a little bit more subtle, and then one that is a little bit more kind of high impact. So that is Mean Money and Hustla Baby. And I think just there on my hand, you can really see. So I'll probably skip this particular option. I'll have the full range of swatches from Fenty Beauty. So you can see the two that I'm swatching, and then also the Girl Next Door and Chic Freak. I think for me, the one that they're offering is going to be just a little bit too dark for my complexion. So that's Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. I think out of these two that I'm showing you, I definitely prefer Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. The foundation shade that I'm wearing, by the way, is the Makeup Forever Reboot R208, just to give you a sense of like my underlying skin tone. So I want to apply some of this for you. Unfortunately, I only have but 2 cheeks, so I'll go ahead and apply the, I guess, Lightning Dust shade. I did apply an Hourglass blush, which had a bit of sheen to it, but hopefully you can see that is the kind of less reflective, and it's still pretty beaming. So going in with the other side, so this is more just a demonstration of the kind of finish. So that's kind of the more subtle, and that is the more beaming. So I think these are really great. I think they're very versatile. So the next option is also a highlighter from Fenty, and this is the Diamond Bomb formula, and they have the shade Royal Icing. This has a $40 value. Also looks really beautiful, but I think it might be too dark for me as well. So this is the Diamond Bomb in How Many Carats? This is like a little mini that was in some kind of set. So the full-size packaging is obviously bigger. This still does have a mirror in it, which is nice, but this is one of those like more almost kind of like toppery, kind of textury type formulas, and I don't know if you'll be able to see there. So that is the Diamond Balm. Okay, so hopefully there you can see the Diamond Balm closer to my thumb, and then what was it, Mean Money and Hustler Baby next to it, and then Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal closer to my pinky. So hopefully you can kind of see the difference in texture there and finish. Diamond Balm is, I think, less opaque. So I did tap the Diamond Balm on top of my eyeshadow just to kind of give you a sense of what that might look like. So I think it does nicely as kind of an eyeshadow type topper. So that's certainly an option if, like me, the was it Royal Icing shade wouldn't necessarily work for you as a highlighter. I'll go ahead and try to layer this on to my cheek, but keep in mind I had the different highlighter on, so I'm not sure. So it is very pretty. Yeah, I guess I would just suggest that you kind of think through like what your skin tone is, what would look good on you, and then what type of like formula and finish that you'll prefer. The next option is the Morgan Lane Alley Robe in navy floral and white floral. I think you just choose one of those. This is supposed to have a $198 value. It is made out of polyester though, and I just try to go for more natural fibers whenever I can, especially if it's something that I'm going to be wearing, you know, to sleep in or, you know, out of the shower. You know, I just want something a little bit more breathable. And I think when you zoom in on the picture, I think the label says that it's like made for FabFitFun. And I always kind of, you know, give brands the side eye when they make things specifically for FabFitFun, because I'm sure they're very aware of like their profit margins and that kind of thing when they're actually creating the item. So yeah, so I'll probably skip that. The next option is something that we saw, I think, last spring, and that is the Alice and Olivia Daisy Print Duffel Bag and Bucket Hat. And this has a $235 value. I think last year it was the bag was a choice in one category, and then the hat was another choice in a different category. So I did get the bag last year. So I have that here. It's a pretty good size for like a weekend trip, that kind of thing. It feels pretty well made. Obviously we haven't been doing a ton of traveling, but it does have a strap, as you can see, that's adjustable. And I think if you like the print and you like this style of bag, I think you might enjoy it. It does have a zipper pocket on the inside that says Alice and Olivia by Stacey Bendit. So yeah, so I'm not sad that I picked this. I just, like I said, haven't gotten a ton of use out of it. But again, if you think it's cute, it does feel pretty well made. I don't know if you're like someone who travels all the time, if it would hold up, you know, through a lot of wear and tear. But like I said, I think for the occasional weekend trip, it would do pretty well. So that is the last choice for customization 1. There seem to have been fewer choices in general this year. For customization choice 2, again, additional choices will be $15. And again, right out of the gate, I think this is what I will be selecting. There's the Pharmacy Honey Halo Moisturizer that has a $45 value. And I have tried this moisturizer before. I think I got like a little tub of it in some kind of like sample kit sort of thing. So I have used a fair bit of it, but I do have this little packet sample, so I thought I would just kind of take this out and show you the texture. I really like this, and keep in mind I have dry skin and it is winter. So you can see it's a fairly thick formula there. It does smell like honey though, so if you really don't like the smell of honey, I would not recommend getting this. I don't love the smell, but I can kind of smell it when I'm applying it, and then it kind of goes away, so it's not like something that's really going to linger, but the scent is definitely there if you're opposed to it. One of the coolest things though, I think, about this product, so this is another product, it's not the moisturizer, this is the honey potion, but it looks like it's basically the same jar with a different label on it. And the cool thing about this is that it has a little spatula that is magnetized to the top of the lid. So you don't have to worry about how to store the spatula or it getting like super dirty or whatever. You can, of course, now I just put lotion on my hand, it's gonna be hard to open. Okay. So if you don't want to worry about sticking your hands into a jar, or you have nails or whatever, it's nice that you have this little spatula and it keeps it a little bit more, I guess, hygienic. So you just scoop out whatever you want and, you know, put it on your face. And then, like I said, you just put this on the top. So I am kind of excited about getting that moisturizer in this style of packaging. Like I said, when I had it before, I think it was like in a smaller, kind of more sample size. So that is one moisturizer. They also have the Perricone High Potency Classics Face Finishing and Firming Moisturizer. That is supposed to have a $69 value, and that cannot ship to the UK. I'm assuming it's because of like licensing or ingredients or that kind of thing. So I'm not that familiar with this moisturizer from Perricone, but knowing I want the pharmacy and the other moisturizers I still have to get through, I think I'll skip on this one. Next up, we have the Bando Stemless Acrylic Wine Glass Set with Glitter Infusion, and that has a $48 value. You get a set of 4. So we don't have a pool, or we're not really beach people or whatever, so I think I'll skip on that. I think it could be cute for the right person, but it's not really something I'm interested in. Next up, we have the Caudalie Vino Pure Oil Control Moisturizer. That has a $35 value. Like I said, I have dry skin, so that's really not kind of for me. We have the Yoga Wake Up 3 months audio guided yoga app subscription and acupressure pillow. That has a $49 value, and from what I understand, this is like basically you start doing yoga when you wake up in the morning while you're still in bed. I'm not really sure how beneficial or helpful that would be. I mean, stretching in general is great and I like yoga, but anyway, if this had an acupressure mat, I might be tempted, but the pillow itself, I'm not really sure. I mean, it looks like it's a fairly small pillow, but still. And then one thing I did want to mention, with any kind of subscription I think that you get through these boxes, you want to be aware whether it like auto renews or you have to like enter in credit card information, or if it's, you know, it just stops automatically. So just something to be aware of. I do appreciate that they put kind of a fitness element in the box, but I think I'll just skip on that. Next up, we have the Splendid Faux Fur Slippers in Crystal Pink, and you can get either a small, medium, or a medium large. Those have a $48 value, which seems a little high. They do, I think, have some kind of like rubber or plastic soles, which is nice, but I think I'll probably skip on these. I think I'm pretty set in the slipper department for the moment. And then next up, we have the Kate Spade Keaton Pouch Wristlet that has a $78 value, and I was intrigued by this when I first saw it. I thought it was a really pretty color, but looking at the description, the material that they used is PVC. So it looks like it might be leather, but it is not. If it had been leather, I might be tempted to get it, but I think I'll skip on getting another pouch. I have plenty in my collection, so I think I'll skip on that. Okay, so next up we have choice 3, and this has an additional choice price of $10, so it knocks down a little bit. The first item here is the Kate Somerville Exfoliate Intensive Pore Exfoliating Treatment. This has an $88 value, and I did actually have a sample of this, so I grabbed it and I used it this morning. I'll go ahead and put a little bit on the back of my hand to show you the texture. It's a bit of an interesting kind of green color. It almost looks like it's like wasabi or something that you get in like a sushi roll. And it does say to put it onto wet skin. The back of my hand is pretty dry, so just to give you an idea of the texture, it's a very fine, like physical exfoliation, but it also has some chemical exfoliation ingredients. So I'll read through some of those. I will say though that it wasn't as intense of an exfoliation as I thought it would be. I know this is kind of a cult favorite product. So it says, Hollywood's 2-minute facial. Kate's best-selling exfoliator is infused with scrubbing exfoliants and fruit enzymes to reveal a smoother, brighter, healthier-looking complexion after just one use. And my skin definitely did feel smoother after I used it. It says you can use this in the morning or at night, use once or twice a week, apply to wet face, massage for 30 seconds, and then leave on for up to 2 minutes. Rinse and gently pat dry. For sensitive skin, leave on for less than 1 minute. So I didn't really time myself, but I could feel a bit of that tingly feeling that you get with some acid exfoliants, but it wasn't too intense or anything. And my skin can handle some acid exfoliation, but I can develop some eczema if I'm not careful in terms of how often I'm using these kind of active ingredients. If you have super sensitive skin, I would recommend maybe skipping on this one. So the first few ingredients are water, lactic acid, silica, soybean oil, and then skipping around, there's papaya fruit, salicylic acid, lactobacillus/pumpkin ferment extract. There's denatured alcohol, cinnamon. I don't know if that's kind of like a cinnamon type ingredient. Honey. It has, let's see, bergamot fruit oil, limonene, linalool, lavender oil. So it has some of those like essential oil type ingredients. Cinnamon, cassia leaf oil, acetic acid, rosewood, orange peel oil. So yeah, so when I used it, it did kind of almost smell like the holidays because it had all these kind of like citrus and cinnamon and pumpkin type ingredients in it. So you might really enjoy it if you're not sensitive, but if you do try to avoid some of those plant extracts, just be aware of that. Okay, so let's see, for $10, I don't know, I think maybe I'll just stick with this little sample and not get the full tube, but it wasn't an immediate, like, I can't use this type of reaction from me. Next up, we have a pair of earrings from Kate Spade. And I don't have the exact earrings, but I do have, I think, a similar size. So the ones that they have are the Kate Spade mini small square studs in opal glitter. And those have a $32 value. So those have gold hardware with like a white kind of main part of the earring. So these are gold hardware. I do have several earrings that are gold hardware. But my preference is normally for silver earrings. So I'll probably skip on these. I think I have other earrings that are kind of similar that I would rather wear than those ones. So just to give you an idea of the size. So depending on your skin tone, the white might be more or less kind of apparent than these ones are on me. But I think these are the same mini small square size. So just to give you an idea of what those might look like for scale. So I'll probably skip those. The next option is the Privé Revaux, the Juliet black sunglasses. Those have a $39.95 value. And they're kind of, I guess, a little dramatic. The picture doesn't always kind of show that this part on the top of the sunglasses is like a metallic gold color. And some other pictures I saw, it has the name of the brand on the, what is this called? Like the arm of the sunglass. And I think I would just assume not have those. So not really my taste. But if that doesn't bother you, it could be really fun to have a new pair of sunglasses for some sunnier weather. Next up we have the Erin Condren Design Stationery Bundle. This has a $35.50 value, and I think I will probably select this because I just like having kind of a backstock of cards, so you don't have to scramble to buy a birthday card or something like that. So I have purchased planners from Erin Condren in the past, and I think most of what they make is really good quality. So I think this would be really handy, and the markers also look like they could be fun. So that is what I am planning on selecting. The next item is the Gaiam Ultimate Core Toning Kit that has a $50 value. And if the, what are they called? If the exercise ball were bigger, I would be very tempted to get this because I have an exercise ball, but I haven't been able to find it since we moved, like over a year ago at this point. So it's a very small ball, and I'm not sure exactly how you use it. And the kind of resistant bands, I don't know. I'm not really sure how to use those either, or that kind of scares me that they'll snap and like hit me in the face or whatever. So I think Gaiam makes pretty good exercise equipment, but I think I'll probably skip on this one. That has a $50 value. And the last option for this category is the Shoshana umbrella, and that has a $40 value. I think this is a repeat from a previous year, and I think I said then that I really liked how it had, Don't Rain on My Parade on the handle, but I don't personally love the kind of overall design of it, so I skipped it in the past, and I think I will be skipping it again now. Okay, so I think I'm going to cut it off after category 3. I will cover categories 4 through 6 in a separate video. So if you are curious what I will be picking up for those categories, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let me know down below what you plan on picking up for the first 3 categories. And I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.